Yeah, I was saying, do you just want it quiet or is like a copyright? Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. Get ready, because it's time for the Sisaundra Show!
Yes! Hello and welcome to the Sisaundra Show. Y'all, it's officially hump day, and today's theme is all about overcoming obstacles and finding the strength to push through. Get ready for an inspiring journey as we dive into stories of resilience, triumph, and empowerment. Y'all, before we dive in, make some noise for my band. It's your band too. We share for the culture.
All right, y'all, let's do this.
Yeah! Jonathan Parks on drums, Mr. Luke Derival on guitar, our music director on keys, Mr. Christopher Baptiste, FTC! Yes, fellas, the Men in Black, how y'all doing?
Welcome back, Lady in Black.
Thank you
Welcome
so
back to
much.
the
I'm
team.
back in black. It's hump day. It helps me get over the hump. Okay? So listen, y'all, join me in welcoming our guest, a survivor of adversity and abuse whose journey from the bright lights of show business to the shadows of exploitation is a testament to her resilience and strength. Today, she shares her story of survival, redemption, and resilience, inspiring us all with her unwavering courage and determination. Y'all, please welcome to the lavender couch, Miss Aisha Irvin. Yes! Aisha, Aisha.
Yeah, you know the song.
Thank you so much. It's so great to see you. Please have a seat. Yes. Aisha.
Yes, please sing it.
Yes.
I
How's
love
it
your
going?
voice.
Thank you
Good.
so much. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Indeed, indeed. So we want to just start talking about your story. It's a very deep story, and we appreciate you sharing it with us. So as an adolescent running away frequently, you used to run a lot.
I did.
What were some of the underlying factors or triggers that led you to repeatedly leaving home?
I think moving, it started before I moved here to Atlanta. I think I wanted to do things that my family didn't want me to do, so it started off just softly, just rebellion. And then when I moved to Atlanta, I didn't fit in. I felt like my aunt who loved me, she's passed now, who loved me and raised me as her own daughter.
God
She
rest her
gave
soul.
me so much love. But in that household, she was one of those people that took in everybody's kids. She had her own children. She took in people she didn't know.
Wow.
She's responsible for so many people becoming successful.
Really? That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's an incredible legacy to have.
She definitely has one.
And most definitely. And
Yeah.
you're part of that legacy.
I am.
Right?
I am. So, yeah.
So how did you navigate the dangers of being a runaway, particularly as a vulnerable teenager on the streets? It ain't easy out there.
It's not, and I thought I knew everything.
Uh-huh.
Like we all do.
I think we all think so at a young age.
Yes.
I was too
Yep.
scared to run away, though. I didn't want to find out.
I was quiet and curious,
Ah,
and so everybody thought I was following, but really I was leading.
You were
myself.
leading.
Right.
Ooh.
So I thought I knew a lot, and out in the streets, a lot of people have a lot of game, and in Atlanta, everybody's game is they're
Oh,
gonna
my
make you
goodness.
famous. Okay,
Yes.
you're gonna be a celebrity. Okay,
Yes. Twinkle,
and so,
twinkle.
yeah. So we all believe it at that age, even now.
Yes. At what age were you?
I was 14 when I started running away.
14 years old when you started running away from home.
Yeah.
Were you seeking stardom when you ran away?
I was seeking to have a voice. I come from a very big family, and everybody's doing stuff this big. And at that time, I didn't know, that was my father's family, what to do with that. I didn't know how to stand on my own.
Right.
I had a big personality, but it shrunk when I got in front of them. I didn't know how to balance that.
Right.
So when I ran away, I got to be my own star of my own life.
Wow.
Yeah, but
That's deep
yeah.
that you knew at that age that's what you were looking for.
Yeah.
I need to find my own voice.
Yes.
Wow. So were there any specific challenges or obstacles you faced in terms of accessing basic needs like food and shelter, healthcare, toiletries, anything while
Yeah.
living on the streets?
Well, initially, this is really my second time telling this story. The first time was a very small audience, but so this a lot of my family didn't like to hear the truth of the story. But when I first got out there, there was a guy who got me. I had on the Too Grown outfit. He was like, "You need to come out to this club." I looked like I was 20. I was 15 at the time.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, "Come out to this club and meet my boss," which was a retired police officer. And I got in there and it was a strip club, and that strip club, in my mind, it was like being on Soul Train, because I was a Soul Train junkie, you know. Like,
Really?
yes, in my mind. It was like dancing
I
and-
got you.
And so, so I started working there at 15. He got me a fake ID.
The retired police officer?
Yes.
My God.
Let me tell. But he was. I would say the guy who stopped me was a bad guy. I won't say his name, but the police officer was a good guy. He just was fooled by that fake ID. He didn't get it. The guy who. I won't say his name. He brought that fake ID for me and introduced me to the owner of that club. Yeah, I don't.
Stripping at 15
Stripping
years
at
old.
15, yeah. And I was
tough.
a great dancer, so I thought you could just dance, and the ladies was doing more than that. So I remember they assigned a girl to me to teach me, because they was like, "You're doing a little too much." I was back there. I was really dancing like.
You was dancing like you on a dance floor.
Right.
You're like, no, ma'am.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a
So
different
they had
life.
to teach you the ropes at 15.
They did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot to teach a 15-year-old.
It really was.
So can you please describe the grooming process that you underwent for the show business industry in more detail? What is grooming a 15-year-old looks like that has run away from home, has a fake ID, and in a strip club?
It's funny you say grooming, because then I never thought about it like that until I got older and started hearing that word. And for that gentleman who stopped me and brought me onto the club and knew the truth about my age, it was buying things. Now, so a little backstory. My father, at a younger age, when I was younger, he was a pimp, a real life pimp. Like,
Get out.
yeah. So after he left me and my mom,
Daddy
he
was a pimp. Come on now.
So there was some things there that I knew. So when he started buying me clothes, I saw that with my father. I kind of knew that.
That he used to take care of the ladies
That's
like that.
right. Right.
Ooh.
So I felt it. I'm like, and my dad talked to me a lot about that. So I wanted my own voice. I didn't want that. So I moved further away, trying to talk to everybody and anybody. But that grooming came with trying to make sure I had expensive things, trying to make me feel important, making me compete against the other ladies that were older than me, creating drama, and then being my savior, And
Oh,
so,
wow. Just everything.
Yeah, and so knowing what I knew about my father, there were things that I was afraid of, but there were things that still worked, because when you don't have anybody out there, that's the ally, And he used another young lady, an older lady, to be my bestie, sort of say. Yeah.
So you could have an older lady to talk to.
A friend to talk to.
Wow.
But my family prayed. I mean, I really believe that's why some of the things that I had opportunities to do, I didn't do. Because I had that little bit I saw from my father's side. And I felt like they were praying for me. And then, the club scene, the money was good. There would be nights at 15, if you make $600 in a night, every night.
$1,600. But y'all, all money ain't good money
All
now.
money is not
For
good
every
money.
young person that's looking, come on now.
It's not good
That's
money.
a lot of money,
It's
but
not.
it comes with a heavy responsibility.
It comes with girls wanting to slit your face when you're 15 and they 25. It comes with fights, stealing money. It comes with men wanting to take you home and pay you more. It comes
Ooh,
with
stop it.
I liked the dope boys back then, and them wanting to just be with you because you have a job that has money, that's a hustle money. It comes with domestic abuse, and it comes
Everything.
with, yes.
Jesus.
It's a $600, $1,200 is not enough. And so
It just
wasn't
got to
life.
keep increasing. You know what? You were talking to me, and I was thinking about this song. My family prayed for me,
Yes.
got it on their mind, took the time and
Yes.
prayed for me.
Yes.
I'm so glad they prayed. I'm so glad they prayed. I'm so glad they prayed for me.
Yes.
That's a
yes.
song right there.
Yes.
When family is praying, when they get it on their mind to pray for you out of something,
Yes.
it works. Prayer changes things.
Prayer
What did it
works.
do for you? Talk to me.
So in the midst of dancing, they wanted me, just like what you see, it's not far-fetched what you see on TV. They wanted me to bring friends.
Of course.
So I had a friend that was with me when this guy stopped me, and she wasn't the look that he was looking for, but she wanted it really bad. So he got her in, and from there she got another, and I could see this effect.
Of course.
So I'm like, I'm looking at her.
Trafficking. That's like trafficking.
Now all that makes sense. It did not. I
I'm
thought this
sure.
was just the life.
You're just young.
Yeah, just the life.
Lights, the stage, the money,
Staying
the
with guys that got
adoration.
money. Yes.
Come on.
Yes, I mean, so when that began to happen, I got into a situation where I wanted to leave, but I didn't know how. I was staying with this guy. He was a dope dealer. He had all this. He would run money, drugs back and forth, and I wanted to leave the life, but he was like, "You can't leave. This is good money. We got a plan. We're gonna do this. And I remember he wanted to fight me and put a gun to my head because I wanted to leave this job. He started accusing me of taking other girls' money. You making too much money. You doing, and I remember just getting up one morning off the couch because he had put a gun in my head the night before and was like, he was having company over, so I had to sleep on the couch, right? And so, he was having somebody.
Oh, my goodness.
Right. So and I need to bring my money home that night and put it in with all of our money so we can support, each other and get this better house, right?
Oh, wow.
Right. So I remember walking just off. We was on Ashby, the old Ashby in Atlanta. Y'all know the old Ashby, which is Lee Street now, and walking down the street and calling my best friend's brother to pick me up. But what's funny about prayer is that you asked me what life was when you didn't have anything. So at that time, I left money there. So I had no money after dancing and saving and nice clothes and big hairstyles.
All money ain't good.
I had nothing.
Keep it. Keep it.
Yes. I walked off with the clothes on my back. I walked off, and I went to their house, but their mother, I didn't want her to return me home because I wasn't ready to go home yet. I had an incident with my father that happened. I wasn't ready to go home, and I wasn't living with him. I was living with my aunt because of however our situation was. And so prayer is funny, though. During the period of time of me leaving, I went to that friend's, and then I started living on the street a little bit. I slept outside for a little bit.
And I need you to hold on right there. You went to your friends. You slept outside for a little bit. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with Aisha Irvin. Don't y'all go nowhere. We'll be right back. and welcome back to the Sisaundra Show. For those of you who were with us before we went to break, I'm here with the one and only Miss Aisha Irvin. For those of you joining us, Miss Irvin has gone through so much. She is a survivor like no one else. From sex trafficking to working in strip clubs, y'all, at the young age of 15. And then there were programs you were telling me about in between the break that you said had restrictions on them, though even you were 15, they wouldn't let you come and find shelter and take care of you because
of my age. So I remember making that decision to say, okay, I'm leaving, and not wanting my friend's mother to call home. So I decided to leave. And it's so fun. I'm so scary now that life is better. But then I used to be in the street and didn't care, you know?
Right.
And I remember I was in Piedmont Park, and the people that we look down on nowadays that we think we should be afraid of, it was a homeless guy who I feel like he was an angel when I look back in my life. I fell asleep because I was so tired on that bench. And when I woke up, he was sitting right there. He said, "Young girl, you fell asleep. It's dangerous out here." He sat there that whole time I was asleep.
Wow.
He steered me to the Salvation Army, and I will say it because I remember this day like nothing. I went to the Salvation Army because he said that they had a shelter downtown Atlanta at the time. And there was a guy, I can remember this like it was yesterday because I was so confused. There was a guy outside of there. He was, you know, hey, counting people to come in. And he said, "Okay, you have to have your ID." I said, "I don't have an ID." And I was like, "I'm only 15. And he was, "You not 15. I said, "I am." He said, "I have to have an ID." I said, "I have no ID. And he said, "Well, you got $7. I said, I don't have $7 either. So he was like, "You have to have an ID, and it's $7 to stay the night here." So I'm saying, so this is a shelter for homeless, and this was 1990. Oh, I'm gonna give my age. Hold on, Mike.
Ain't nothing but a number.
Maybe 93, 94, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I was thinking like, what? So then he told me to go to the church, and this church is still, don't know the name. I pass by this all the time, but right now it's closed, but homeless people sleep on this church down in Atlanta. But they used to be open and feed the homeless. So I went there, sisters at the door, they have a line. I get in the line, and I get there, and she says, "Where are your children?" I said, "I don't have any children. I'm 15. And she's like, "Well, I can't let you in if you don't have kids. This is for women with children."
Oh my God, are you
And
kidding
I'm
me?
just hungry. I just wanted to eat. And she was like, "I'm sorry."
She couldn't even give you food?
And this is the honest to God truth. And it was eye-opening. And then I'm like, so there was a lady that was beside me who had 2 kids. And she said, "That's my daughter."
Oh.
And so the lady knew she wasn't. So I got and I ate with her. And that is how I started to see God does things in your life for a certain reason.
Yes.
She took me to another lady that was not her mother that had taken her and her children in. And this lady, maybe a week or 2 after I was staying with her, ended up being in the elevator with my father.
Are you serious?
I'm not.
Now, what are the chances of that
That's
happening
God. That
without
was
God?
God. That was God.
That part.
So
Oh, and how did that turn out? Talk to me about her walking into the elevator with your dad. And how did she know it was your dad?
So she, older lady, and it's the people we look over every day that have the biggest hearts.
Yes.
And so I really believe you get rewarded when you get to heaven because her situation didn't look good. But she took care of this lady, and they didn't have much. It was a wake-up call in my mind because my family had quite a bit. And I'm living in this lady's house because I don't want to go home, and she didn't have much at all. Sometimes the water would be off, but she made sure we ate.
Yes.
I spent that Christmas with her, and everybody got one gift. And it just made me think about things a little differently. So when she got in the elevator with my father, she came back to tell the story. I met this man that he's been looking for his daughter.
Are you serious?
They had a bad fight, and she didn't want to come back home. He said, yeah, and his sister is this lady I know, and my aunt was really known in the Atlanta area, Evangelist Sandy Collins. And I almost thought it was a plot. So when she said my aunt's name, I thought, this somebody.
Okay, they done got in touch with you or something.
I didn't believe it. I really didn't.
That's too much.
I didn't believe that story. I thought somehow somebody told my best friend who was encouraging me to go home, who would come to her house to see me. It was until I went home that my father cried about that story, about him meeting, he knew it was God. And that's when I really knew God had his hand on me the whole time.
Yes.
The whole time.
So with God's hand on you, please elaborate on how you initially entered into the abusive relationship with your first husband.
So I think a lot of all of that, not feeling like I fit in. So, like I said, I lived with my aunt, and my father eventually got himself together, got saved, and got a home. But I had to stay with my aunt. That was
That's
a better
amazing.
situation. And not feeling, I think, wanted there and not knowing how to process that feeling, it made me feel some type of way about myself. And I didn't realize I carried that for a long time. So I joined the military as I came back from
Come
that life.
on, military too?
Yes,
Thank
I
you for
came
your
back.
service.
Thank you.
What branch?
The Army.
The Army.
They
That's
take all of
wonderful.
us that mess up. You know, I'm just
Stop it. Thank God for the Army. Come on.
Thank God
get
for the
up
Army,
before
for real,
all of
okay?
us. Yes.
So yeah, after I got my life together, I went back home. I went to a military school, Youth Challenge military school, and then joined the Army at 17.
Wow.
And in that military school, I met a young man. We were all there because we had our own little issues. I should have remembered that. But we all were there trying to get ourselves together. And so I met a guy there at the time, boy, and we dated through that program. Once we graduated,
From boot camp.
yes, so they're not boot camp, but it
It
was
was
like
a boot
camp.
camp.
But it's
Okay.
not really, but it was. See, so it's like that. And he went into the military directly after school. And sent a ring to propose, a ring on a bear to say. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm worthy of being married. Oh my God.
Aw.
And to me, I just did so much as a kid. I just thought, this is a good church guy. Why would he
Yes.
want to be with, and he knew all of my backstory. So I'm going into a relationship, not seeing the fact that he went to the same school I went to. I'm going into a relationship thinking, because he was a really good church guy, and he worked, cut hair, and here I was doing all I was doing in the street.
Right.
And he knew that. So I felt somewhat, I think in my mind, he was a little better than me.
Yes.
And I joined the Army and we got married. I got pregnant as soon as I got to the station. Okay, I was pregnant like water. Okay, as soon as I got there.
Stop it.
And then we
Just
got
look at you, you get pregnant. Yes.
Right. And so and it started off like a fairy tale. Somebody who accepted me for me and loved me for me, but like fairy tales, sometimes real fairy tales, they have traumas. They come. And I remember while I was pregnant with my son, he was the sweetest. I would be so upset he would cry, And he's out of prison now, so I'm
God.
saying, yeah. I'm not saying this story is my
Long
story.
story
It's not
short.
about him. It's my
Right,
story.
right.
So I'm happy he's getting his life together. But our
Yes.
story at that time was once I had my son, it's like he turned from such a good guy. We bought a home that he turned into somebody else. And I just remember we had an argument over, of course, friends. When you 20, 19, it's always friends want to do this. We had 2 cars in a home and we were only 20. I was 20 years old.
Wow.
I went from that life to having my own home to having a few cars. And he wanted, I don't even remember, something with somebody to borrow my car. I was supposed to walk home in the rain and I went crazy. I was like, I'm not doing it. Da, da, da. And I got home from PT that morning and he was waiting outside of the house with a friend. And he just began to beat me. Like
In front of
his friend. He beat me. I began to run, and I remember flipping over our fence and my whole shirt getting hooked on the fence and him dragging me to the street and just kicking me and beating me. I don't know how long it went on, but I remember the police was there that broke it up. He
Oh,
grabbed
my
a 2x4.
goodness.
He was,
A 2x4.
First time. Not like in a movie where you just get a little slap on the face, like not like that.
Jesus.
So you can understand, I think in the black environment, sometimes we used to look at domestic abuse as something, I think we didn't process it like an
Try
embarrassment.
to brush it under the rug.
Yeah, we didn't
like you
process
keep
it
it
like
in the
that.
house.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing.
So I'm in the middle of the street in a neighborhood, nice homes, we military, and the police officer was the one that testified and said this is what he saw. So he went to jail. But me, I'm 19.
You
20,
got him
I think
out.
I just had his baby. We got it home, and I go in and I agree to doing counseling so that he can come home. Right. And he is mad at me still, even after I pick him up and still cursing me out. And this is a church guy who was it was like the devil took him over. It was just like, and I just kept saying, God, I just can't get it together. Why can't I get it? What's with my life? Why can't I get it together? And this went on for about a year, just not little things. What I think tears me up is it wasn't little things that you saw in movies. It was like, one time he punched me in the hall, so I don't even know. I woke up in the bedroom, my nose bleeding, and him praying. One time he hung me up in a closet.
Hung
with
you
a
up?
phone cord. And let me tell you, but God, let me tell you about God. When you know that you have favor with God, this man left me in a closet in our bedroom with a phone cord wrapped around my neck. And my girlfriend had a feeling something wasn't right. She broke my son's window. If she wouldn't have broke my son's window to come in, and I'm sorry, this is only the second time I ever told the story out in front of anybody, but came in the window, I would have died, And so to hate somebody so much, somebody that you've been with, and to wrap a cord around their neck and leave them. She was like my guardian angel, you know.
Yes. Yes.
So a lot of extreme moments that make you think, I'm truly not worthy. You know, like, so I started just thinking, I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy. Something is wrong. I'm not worthy as a kid. I'm not worthy as an adult. I just started feeling like my self-esteem was like, and I was a pretty girl. Well, before when I was slim, I thought I was a pretty girl, you know.
Right.
But
Like,
it was just
why is
something
this happening to me?
all the time.
Why me? Why me? Always, right?
All the time.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So, you
So
know.
sorry. Yeah. So your story of resilience and comeback is so inspiring. What motivated you to keep pushing forward, especially during your darkest moments? I would love to give you a good 20 seconds to try to answer what kept you moving forward. Was it your children, your child?
My son is what changed my life, but really I thank God for living with my aunt. I thank God for them putting money into my Catholic school as a 1st grade to 5th grade, because learning about God and prayer, if he would be honest in today, he would tell you sometimes after I would get into, he would be if I would be in the bathroom just praying loud,
Yes.
like just, you know, so learning that, only name my aunt would tell you have to pray,
It's
screaming Jesus.
So between your aunt and Jesus, you made it through. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. To our viewers, thank y'all so much for joining us today. If you're going through this, just know that there's someone there to help you. For the culture,